हाँ, आइए उस पे। ये नहीं हो रहा है वैसे ना अब। हेलो।
हेलो श्रेया।
हेलो, या मैम, एम आई ऑडिबल?
हेलो।
हाँ, एम आई ऑडिबल?
हाँ, यू आर ऑडिबल।
ओके ओके, तो आप रेडी है ना?
मैं रेडी हूँ बिल्कुल।
तो पीपीटी नहीं ओपन हो रही ना आपके एंड से? कोई बात नहीं, अभी ड्रॉप कर दो वो प्लान ना, बिकॉज उसमें टाइम लगता है। अगर कोई बग फिक्स करना होता है ना, उसके लिए टाइम चाहिए। अभी हमारे पास टाइम नहीं है एक्चुअली।
ठीक है, मैं आपको अभी इसी पे एक बार।
तो माई स्क्रीन इज विजिबल, राइट? या वी कैन स्टार्ट।
ओके, तो मैम प्लीज शेयर द नेक्स्ट स्क्रीन।
ओके, श्योर।
तो बेसिकली इन दिस वी आर, थैंक यू। Basically, in this presentation, we will explore the accounting for startup entrepreneurs. And as you know, accounting is very crucial and it is helpful for making decision making for the sustainability of the organization. So, in brief, we are going to discuss what is accounting, what is its nature and scope, and how it is useful and beneficial for the managing your enterprises. Okay, next screen, please. So basically, as you know, that accounting is a well-known concept. It is used in our ancient times also by the Chanakya wrote his book Arthashastra, which contains maintaining how we can maintain the books of accounts for the sovereign states. In 1494, Luca Paciello, who introduced the double entry system, which becomes a very important part and parcel of recording a business transactions in accounting and helps the organization in knowing the dual effect of the transactions which we are recording. After that, Institute of Chartered Accountant of India body was established on 1st July 1949 as a statutory body of chartered accountants and enacted by the Parliament for the profession of financial accountancy in India. It is the second largest finance body in the world who look after the accounting procedures. And as you all know that without chartered accountant, any organization cannot go for auditing work. So it is very important from that part also. Next. Now, basically,
Turan mo nga ako, B, na nanonood ng webinar.
Please go on mute. Hello, guys.
Eh, baka mo basura. Okay lang.
basically now, as you all know, that accounting is a process in which we have to identify the financial transactions and record it.
Wait, wait. You can unmute yourself. Dr. Vinita, you can unmute yourself. I have muted everyone. You can unmute yourself now.
Okay.
Yeah,
Shall we start, ma'am?
yeah.
Okay. So basically, in accounting, as you know, accounting gives us the process in which we can identify our business transactions and accordingly we can record those business transactions which help in measuring the economic and financial position of our business through different processes which we have to follow, which is given in accounting. So there are certain parameters on the basis of which we have to record our transactions, classify our transactions, and after all, we have to drive a meaningful information at the end of the financial year. Basically, there is a financial year, as you all know, for a 1 year starting from 1st April ends on 31st of March. So for the whole year data on a sequential manner, we have to uh, uh, on sequential manner, we have to enter that data in different sets of books of account, which we have prepared in a sequential manner. So there are certain books of accounts. Say you are aware of journal book, ledger book, trial balance, profit and loss account, and balance sheet, which we are going to discuss in our next slides. Next, moving on to the next slide.
Yeah.
Now, as you all know, basically, what is the important role of accounting in tracking the records of a financial position of any organization? First of all, it helps in recording our income and expenses, helps in managing the cash flows, helps in preparations for tax obligations, preparation of financial statements. It also helps you to keep a systematic record of your business transactions, protect your business properties. You're able to know your operational profits or loss at the end of your financial year to ascertain the financial position of the business with the help of balance sheet to facilitate rational decision making on the basis of this information provided by the sets of books of account. Okay, so these are the importance which is being known to every person who is into a business, and all these things are required for the person who is recording their transactions. Next.
Yeah.
Now, basic accounting principles. So there are three basic accounting principles. First is the double entry system, second is accrual system, and third is consistency. So double entry systems basically tells how to record the transactions, and every transaction has a dual effect. Say, let's take one example that you have purchased a car for rupees 1 lakh. So two entries will be there: car account debit to cash account. So we have to open two different sets of ledger account. One is for the cash account and another is for the car account, because we have purchased an asset by parting with an current assets, that is a cash. So this is a double entry system. Whenever any business transaction occurs, it has an impact on two different accounts. Now, accrual system. Now, basically in accounting, we are also recording transactions on accrual basis. Accrual means the things has already occurred, but we have not yet received or we have not yet paid. Okay. Say if we have taken a certain facility, say warehouse facility we have taken. Okay. And we have not yet paid the rent. Still, we have to record the outstanding rent in our books of accounts. Say, if we want to receive a payment, but the payment has been due, but we have not received, so we have to record the accrued payment, which means that the payment has arises, but we have not yet received. This is the accrual system of accounting. So we have to take both the system, our cash system as well as accrual system of accounting, to enter our business transactions. Now, consistency plays a very vital role in accounting, because whatever the method of accounting we are adopting, there are several methods in accounting to record the transactions regarding depreciation, inventory valuations. So we have to consistently follow those methods so that we can maintain the consistency in our books of accounts. If in a constant interval we are changing the method of charging depreciation, method of valuing inventory, then it will lose, the business will lose the actual cost of inventory, actual intake of inventory. So there should be there. We are not able to assess what is the value of our assets after charging the depreciation. So by choosing an appropriate method of any aspect, whether it is for depreciating an asset or any inventory valuations, we have to consistently follow that method. Then only we are able to know the actual value of our books for maintaining our financial records. Next. So there are basically three major statements which we are going to prepare. Every organization has to prepare to know their financial position at the end of the financial period. First is your profit and loss account. second is balance sheet, and cash flow statement. These three statements are very important for any organizations to be prepared to know their financial positions. First of all, we are going to discuss what is profit and loss account. So as the name indicates, profit and loss account is prepared at the end of financial year, taking into consideration all your expenses and income. And on the basis of that, we are able to find out whether we are having a profit or a loss. Say, for example, if our expenses are more than our income, sales, because we are showing all the sales in our trading account, out of which we are finding the gross profit. And after that, we are taking into consideration all the indirect expenses which we have shown in the profit and loss account in order to find out the net profit of the organizations. So if our sales are less and expenses are more, then in that case, the organization is in loss. If our sales value is more and expenses are less, then in that case, the company is having a profit. The next slide. Next slide. Shreya, are you there? Balance sheet.
Yeah.
No. Okay, fine. Balance sheet. So basically, balance sheet is a financial statement that reports the companies about the assets, liabilities of the company, and on the basis of which we can evaluate the liquidity and financial position of the company. So basically, on the liability sides, we have to show all the obligations which has to be meet out by the organization, and assets on the other sides gives the financial strongness, financial liquidity of the organization. So in the balance sheet, we are able to know if our assets value is more than our liabilities. In that case, the financial company is financially sound, and company is in a position that they are able to face any liquidity crunch if in future they face. The different types of reserves they have to maintain to meet out the contingencies if it incurs in futures. So balance sheet gives you the overall aspect, overall positions, which helps in knowing the financial positions, what are the liabilities and what are the assets held by the company on a particular day. Next. Next, cash flow management. It is one of the important aspects because without inflow and outflow of cash, any organization cannot survive. And it is the backbone of every organization, that every organization should have a liquidity in hand. They have the ample amount of cash available so that they can meet out their obligations. So basically, cash flow management is a process of planning which helps the organization to plan their course of action, in which area they want to invest more, in which area they have to withdraw or place a control measures over the flow of cash, say on expenses, in which if they want to go for projects, any projects, then they have to go for the cash flow management, which involves forecasting their future needs and efficiency, how they can efficiently raise fundraising हो कहाँ से होगी, मान लीजिए if they want to go for a, say if it is a private public limited company, they can raise their funds through IPOs. Now if it is a private limited company, they can raise their funds through any financial institutions, banks, or with their promoters or members. So how they can raise funds, it is a important aspect of raising the funds, and how they are utilizing those funds. All these informations we get with the help of cash flow management, which maximize the value of the organization. Next. Budgeting for startups. As you all know in this session, that accounting plays a very vital role. So budgeting is also very important aspect. Until and unless we break down our capital into different aspects, say how much fund we required for our working capital, how much fund we required for investment in fixed assets, how much funds we require to meet out our daily direct or indirect nature expenses. So we have to prepare a budget, break down our total capital into a certain denomination so that we are able to plan a future course of actions, and at the end the organization is not able to face the liquidity crunch. There should not be a shortage of funds. We should able to know with the help of budget. We have to prepare all our aspects with the help of budget. Say total cash requirement, how much funds is required to be invested in fixed assets, what are the different types of reserves they have to maintain to meet out their contingencies reserves, what should be the working capital that your current assets and current liabilities to be meet out as and when they are arises. So all these aspects should be taken care by preparing the budget, because when you prepare budget, you are estimating your future cost, and on the basis of those estimation you are able to know that this is our actual scenario when we are going to implement our plans, when we are going to implement or start spending the money, we are in a position that we have the ample cash available with us. So budgeting for startup is very important, and it is one of the part and parcel of the accounting to know that there are different types of budgets which has been prepared by the organization, say production budget, sales budget, cash budget, master budget. So all these types of different types of budgets has been prepared by the organization to know their future requirements. So as you all know, if you want to know further about the accounting, then we can take an elaborative sessions for accounting, because accounting also helps in understanding what is the tax obligations. So there are different types of tax which is applicable on the organizations, say direct tax, indirect tax, and we have to understand their compliance. See what are the various compliances which has to be fulfilled by the organizations at the end of the financial year for submitting, when they submit their financial statements, how much tax has been arises, what are the various slabs for paying the tax, GST number they have taken, that is the part of indirect tax. And in direct taxes may income tax plays a very important role, because it gives you the foundations on the basis of which the compliance, all the compliance, whether it is a depreciation compliance, inventory valuation compliance, and other taxation investment compliances, you have to fulfill with the help of different taxes compliances given. So tax responsibility is another aspect which has to be understood by the startups for healthy and financially, for making the healthy and financial organization. Next. So as you know, it is a technological era. So earlier, all the accounting process is done manually by preparing different sets of books. But now there are different softwares available in the market. You can opt those softwares, generate your, if you have a basic knowledge of accounting, you can easily input your data with the help of those software and get the output with the help of those softwares. Tele is one of the software which you can install in your system, and through that you can maintain the records of your account. But apart from Tele, there are other softwares also, such as QuickBooks, Quicken, FreshBooks, Zero, Zohon. So these are the different platforms on which you can take by taking a minimal by paying the minimal fee, you can keep track of your accounting records, and you can input all your data over there, and automatically you will able to get your financial statements as and when you are inputting your financial data over it. So utilize it. Now the task of recording financial transaction has become very easy with the advent of technology. Now, last, we are ending up our session. So, in conclusion, for mastering the fundamentals of accounting, it is vital for startup entrepreneurs. By implementing sound accounting practices, you can ensure your business success and a long-term viability. So if you're having any questions, you can raise your question.
So yeah, ma'am, you can also give introduction on the complete course that you have because we have still 10 minutes and then we can take
Okay.
Q&A. We have Q&A session after 10 minutes. So you can just tell about briefly about the course, which is a full course on
Okay.
accounting. This is just the introduction and they can enroll for a full course, whoever is interested.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. So basically, if you're enrolling for our full course of accounting session, we are going to tell you ki what are the basic parameters, what are the different sets of books, how you make entries in those books, how you are able to know ki what are the transactions, how you prepare a profit and loss account, balance sheet, what are the content you can input in those financial statements, how to prepare your cash flow statement. Okay, how you can make analysis of financial statement by utilizing different financial tools like ratio analysis, cash flow, trend analysis, common size statement, which is very important for any organization. So it is a complete set. And apart from that, we include the taxation part also. Key, what are the various parameters tax compliance you have to know about your business, whether it is a GST or a income tax compliances, what are the various forms you are going to require for filing your startups required to be maintained with your startup. So it includes your complete package for accounting plus taxation.
And you can also give a brief about your introduction because you have got other, you were telling about law, business law, other courses as well, which we'll be introducing in the coming lecture.
Yes. If you want classes on business law, that is contract law, yeah, Sales of Goods Act, Negotiable Act, then we can make classes on that. Entire कंपनी लॉ के ऊपर भी हम जा सकते हैं. आपका भी नया एबॉलिशन एक्ट आया है, उस पे भी जा सकते हैं. कंज्यूमर प्रोटेक्शन एक्ट पे हम आपको बता सकते हैं. तो देयर आर वेरियस लॉज ऑन विच वी यू कैन जॉइन आवर कोर्सेज.
So guys, this was just an introduction on accounting. So ma'am is here. If you guys have any, you are a beginners, you are starting or startup or a side hustle kind of a thing, you have any questions regarding to the legalities, the tax, how to save taxes, and how to set up business, so you can ask questions from ma'am. And meanwhile, if you're also looking for a full-time course, then you have to get in touch with us. Our I will mention our email ID here, and you can ask for the full course. We will, we have a community of people which are regularly joining us. So you can reach out for any assistance. Meanwhile, please go ahead with your questionnaires. Have you guys received the email ID and phone number? So you can ask your questions. We have we have a ma'am till 3 o'clock. So you can ask your questions, unmute yourself or write in the chat box. We'll try to answer. Also, guys, for the certificate and recordings and PPT for the material, you guys need to send me a text or a email on my as a ID which I have mentioned. We will be providing you with all of these, but it is we have to actually we are taking it from a third party the certificate, so we will be paying him. You need to provide us with the minimal cost, that is 99 rupees. That is a very minimal cost we have charged. We have not charged anything more than that. So for the certificate from a company Cornerstone Advisory, from the reputed professor Dr. Vinita, signed by her, we will be providing you with that certificate along with the recordings and PPT. So you can get in touch with us for that. And meanwhile, if you have any Q&A, you can start questioning. Okay, yeah. So the for the fee structure, Akanshu, you can message me or email me because by far we have multiple courses. Like we have many courses, as Dr. Vinita also mentioned. We have business laws, corporate laws, HR, finance. We have just started accounting, so we will let you know the costing. But it all depends, like we can agree mutually, but meanwhile related to the session you can ask whatever session, because it was just so insightful session for us, we are learning so many things here about accounting, balance sheets. So we don't know, like these kind of sessions people pay a huge amount, you also know that these kind of session usually how many people are out there and how much they are charging, you already know that they're charging hugely. But we are not like only going to charge you on the basis of nothing. We are just telling you these are the basic fundamentals. But for enrolling the course, you can get in touch with us, message us. Our phone number is mentioned as 628-372-0458. You can WhatsApp us, call us, or you can email us sales@cornerstoneadvinfo.com. We will answer each and every query of yours. And for the certificates, guys, I will share you one link. You have to pay a minimal amount. It will be like a 99 or something, and we will share all the recordings and PPT and session. You can ask your questions now from ma'am. So these certificates are like, we are a registered company. We are yet following up with the government of India to provide with the affiliation of Research Foundation of India. But it will take a little bit more time. It is not going to happen. But we are giving certificate from our company. Like it is based out of Mohali. It's a registered company in Mohali. So we will be providing certificate with the owner signature and the trainers, and then we will provide you with the certificate. E-certificate, as Nelia, as I mentioned, it is paid because we are asking a developer. He's developing that. So we have to charge you because we are also paying them. So it is not free. It is a minimal cost of 99 rupees. We will be giving you all of you if you request. I'll share the link with you on email or WhatsApp, whatever. And you just give me the screenshot that yes, you have paid the amount, and I will deliver the certificate the very day. The very day or the next day, same day or the next day. So guys, we have a lot of sessions. Like we have technical sessions on Azure, cloud computing, management sessions, and now we have ma'am as the finance session. She has done is in business law also. So your feedback matters. Okay, we matter your feedback, and whatever feedback you will give, based on that we will conduct more and more sessions like this. If you have any doubt related to the course, or if you have any doubt related to the session which ma'am has taken, please free to start. We have time now. Or is there any topic, ma'am, you want to cover? Like we have some time left for 5-10 minutes. Business analytics or analytics, not right now. We have something related to digital marketing which we will be coming in the future. So you join our community, you have joined, you message me on WhatsApp, we will make a community and we can start there. Ma'am, how we can save taxes? So yeah, ma'am, this question is for you, Dr. Vinita.
There are certain criteria depending upon the type of organization you are. Say, if you are a sole proprietor organization, so tax slab is different. If you are a private company, that then there is a tax slab is different. If you are a public company, yeah, even if you are a cooperative society, so there are different ऑर्गेनाइजेशन एलएलपी है तो सबके लिए टैक्स स्लैब्स अलग अलग है एंड देन अकॉर्डिंगली टैक्स स्लैब्स के साथ साथ आपको डिफरेंट प्रिविलेजेस भी गिवन है जैसे कुछ स्टार्टअप्स के लिए गवर्नमेंट 3 इयर्स तक कोई आप जब लोन ले रहे हैं फाइनेंसिंग ले रहे हैं तो आपसे कोई भी टैक्सेस नहीं लेती है आफ्टर 3 इयर्स व्हेन यू सेटल डाउन द टैक्सेस विल बी चार्ज so there is a subsidies given it depends upon the kind of business you are in and accordingly the tax will be applicable that there are certain principles on there are certain guidelines on which you can save the tax so it depends upon the type of organization you have to be registered whether it is a sole proprietor partnership firm or it is a llp or a corporate next
Okay.
any other question
Okay. As I mentioned, Pereires, like the certificates are not free. They are a minimal cost of 99 rupees. I think for you it will be, I don't know which country, but it is 99 rupees, huh? Minimal charges because we are paying developers. So anything related to the topic, guys, please free to ask. Otherwise, we will be wrapping up the session because here's a lot of time with you guys. You can ask so many questions. She's asking about
preparing for net
NET. NET is related to teaching, right? NET.
yes It is
So this is a bit out of topic, Kanshu, but yeah, ma'am, you can answer because
yes, you can prepare. May I know from which stream you are? From commerce stream. So you can prepare for net, JRF and net. There are the two categories. If you want to go for JRF, then, and if JRF is clear, then
it is from management.
Management, they can appear for net examination. There are two categories. One is JRF and one is simple net, UGC net. So if you are going for both the sections, JRF and net, in that case, if you clear JRF, you are become eligible to get admission in your further studies in PhD in of the recognized universities which is affiliated with UGC. And if you are not going for further studies, so you can go for UGC net only, okay, which helps you to continue your career in a teaching field in higher education institutions.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you for this insightful answer. So, guys, any more doubts you have apart from like based on the content? Like, you have any doubt based on the content? Like, we had so much of content here on accounting. So, ma'am, do you want to share any example like how to, how we can create a balance sheet, or you want to share some example how companies do? So, it will be very useful for our joiners. For 5-10 minutes, we can do that, and then we can wrap it up.
So basically, okay, balance sheet, I have to share the uh,
You can tell verbally. It's also fine. We can share verbally.
okay, okay. Balance sheet basically, uh, there are certain schedules. According to that, we can prepare. Say, I'll just give you the example of balance sheet which is prepared by a sole proprietorship firm. Because कंपनी की अगर बैलेंस शीट हम डिस्कस करेंगे, it takes a very long time to discuss.
Yeah, that should be fine. Yeah.
Okay, we can prepare. Say if you are registered as a sole proprietor, now how you are going to prepare your balance sheet? So in balance sheet there are two hands, left hand and right hand. On one hand you have to one on the left hand side you have to write liabilities. On the right hand side you have to prepare the asset. Okay, so in liability sections we have to first include a capital which is being given by the proprietor to the firm. So in that capital, whatever the business has earned a profit during the year, it will be added back to that capital. This helps in enhancing the capital. That profit, this is the capital of the organization. Now, if the proprietor has withdrawn certain funds from the organization, that same entry we have to deduct the amount of withdrawal from that capital itself, which reduces your amount of capital in the organization. Okay. Apart from that, we can go for a long-term and short-term liabilities. So long-term liabilities, say you have taken loan from your friends, loan from bank and financial institutions, that we have to show from loan from a long term liabilities. एंड शॉर्ट टर्म लाइबिलिटीज में आपकी जितनी भी करंट लाइबिलिटीज होंगी, जितने भी आउटस्टैंडिंग्स होंगे, वेदर इट इज योर प्रीपेड रेंट, योर सॉरी नॉट प्रीपेड, आउटस्टैंडिंग रेंट, आउटस्टैंडिंग सैलरीज, क्रेडिटर्स, बिल्स पेबल, ये सब किसका पार्ट है? ये आपके करंट लाइबिलिटीज का पार्ट है, विच वी हैव टू शो on the liability side of the balance. Now moving on to the asset side of the balance sheet. So in asset sides of balance sheet, we are maintaining different types of asset. First is your fixed asset. Fixed assets basically comprises of those assets. Uh, Fixed assets basically comprises of those assets which is being required by the organization for long-term purposes. Say if you have make investment in machinery, building. So all these are your fixed assets. Say if company is purchasing computers, that is also coming under the category of fixed assets because they are utilizing those assets for a longer duration of time. Next category of assets will be current assets. So current assets are basically divided into two categories: tangible and basically current assets. Hello, I'm audible. So basically,
Hello?
hello.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am, you're audible.
Current assets basically includes your cash and bank balances, debtors, bills receivable, short-term investment, closing stock we have to show in our current assets, prepaid expenses which we have incurred. Basically, what is prepaid expenses? Say you are using mobile phone. There are two types of top-ups you can go. Either you go for a postpaid or a prepaid. So in prepaid, you have paid the amount earlier than you are taking the services. In the similar manner, if the organization has paid certain amount in advance or incur any expenses in advance, so we have to show prepaid expenses as an asset. Okay, so it will be shown until and unless we receive those services or completed those work till for which we have paid that expense, paid that income money for particular work. So it is a part of your current assets. Now there are certain other assets which we call intangible assets. So intangible assets, as you know, this like goodwill, your patents,
Reputation.
copyright,
Okay.
reputation. Goodwill is reputation of the organizations. It's also having a certain value. Patent, copyright, if you have taken a patent, if the company is patented with a certain product, तो उसके लिए भी आपको एक लाइसेंस लेना पड़ता है, पेटेंट लाइसेंस. कॉपीराइट अगर आपके पास है, so all these are our intangible assets which having a certain value and it should be shown in our balance. एंड आफ्टर एट द एंड ऑफ ईयर जितने भी हमारे फिक्स नेचर के एसेट्स होते हैं, जैसे आपका बिल्डिंग हो गया, मशीनरी हो गया, ऑल आर डेप्रिशिएटेड एक्सेप्ट लैंड. Because if the organization has purchased a land, it always appreciate in value. But other fixed assets like building, machinery, equipments, tools, जो भी आप use करें, everything has to be depreciated, and a certain amount of depreciation which is prescribed by Income Tax Act, it is applicable for depreciating the fixed asset on that particular asset. Normally, as per income tax, we use written down value method for depreciating our assets, and accordingly we have to input our liabilities and assets and find out at the end of the year that our liabilities should always be equal to our assets. If our balance sheet is not matching, then in that case either we have made a certain mistake while entering our transactions, so we have to back and take a look about all the books of accounts where we have made a mistake or where we have entered a incorrect transaction. Accordingly, we can correct our balance sheet. So balance sheet shows the financial position, that how strong the organization is, and with the help of that, assets value tells and determine the efficiency, how efficiently they are utilizing their capital to generating the turnovers in terms of sales. Because stock is one of the aspect. If you are into FMCG sectors, so you are trading in different types of stock. So when sales are conducted, so it has to be taken care by the organization that they are churning out their capital. Capital gearing should be there, that there is a continuous turnover in the stock. There should not be a bundle of stock lying in their warehouses because it increases cost of the organization. So there are various aspects which we have to study while preparing our balance sheet. There are certain ratios which also helps the organization in knowing their financial stability. जैसे current ratio है आपका, quick ratio है, profitability ratio है, assets turnover ratios है, return on investment ratios हैं, जो हम calculate करते हैं with the help of our balance sheet and profit. So any other information which you would like to know from me? Hello.
So for candidates, I think it is a very good session. I would say it was a very good session. Thank you, ma'am. So guys, if you have more queries and if you want to enroll for the course, do let us know. I'm again writing our contact details that you can know in depth, because this was just an introduction, right? We cannot overburden the people on so many different topics. There are, as ma'am mentioned, this is a vast topic. This is not a very simple topic. You have to go in detail. You have to understand certain things, and startup in itself is a very wide area, right? So we guys gonna help you, but you need to contact us and we can start discussing on the courses part. So you can reach out to us, you can reach out to me anytime, and we will let you know for the certificates, for the PPT recordings, everything, how we are planning ahead. And for the courses which we have, you can also go through our LinkedIn channel, which we have shared with you on the flyers. The YouTube channel will be regularly posting. You can join our WhatsApp community. You can say hi to me on WhatsApp and we will add you to the community. You can discuss among each other. So we are here. So do let us know. So thank you for the session, ma'am. I will stop the recording.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.